freaking awesome. Yes, this is what they call the pig nose body style Ford F-150, and it's the most hated body style right now. I'm not sure exactly why it's the most hated. I think it's just because they're all just considered old, and there's more wore out junk ones out there than there is nice running ones. If you don't know what body style the pig nose is, they ran from 97 year model, about 96 and a half, to about 2004, about 2004 and a half as well. I mean, come on, really, who would not want a truck like this? Alright, let me get you up to speed on this truck. If you haven't seen the last episode on this truck, I got it for 500 bucks while I was doing another job. The truck sat there for roughly 5-8 years, something like that, I don't know, but supposedly it had a transmission problem, and that's why it was super cheap, and that's why it was sitting there. The transmission problem ended up not being severe, and it was just basically the linkage was out of adjustment, and after that the truck started shifting fine but was running poorly. And that's probably where you've last seen this truck, is when it was running poorly. Well, let me tell you about that. I did a tune-up on it, plugs and wires and all that good stuff, and it still had a severe misfire. Let's make a long story short, and it ended up being about 4 clogged injectors on this thing from just sitting so long. I replaced a couple of them, got a couple of them to actually come back to life, and voila, the truck is running beautifully. The transmission still was acting up just a little bit, it was shuddering and whatnot, and I put an additive in it and it just completely straightened it out. So this truck 100% runs just great. I got a good set of used tires for it, bought a nicer tailgate for it, and I've just been driving the heck out of it. That being said, this truck is actually pretty cool. I really like it. No, it's not a show truck by any means, but I'll tell you why I think everybody should own a truck like this. For starts, it has ice cold AC. It's extremely nice and tight. Drives absolutely perfect, couldn't get any better. With new pickup truck prices for a full-size pickup ranging from $50,000 to $100,000, I don't see why you wouldn't buy a truck like this instead. Yes, good luck trying to get that girl to go home with you at the nightclub. But for me, it doesn't matter. I'm already married. I mean, come on, would you pay $100,000 just to do that to something? I don't think so. It's a freaking truck. It's meant to do truck stuff. It's meant to get dirty. It's meant to get beat up. It's, you know, I could go on and on. I know people that are very, very well off, like 7 digits well off, and they don't even really buy new pickup trucks. I mean, yes, they got nice new vehicles here and there, but as far as their everyday truck, 200,000 mile old stuff. The beauty about this truck here is every single person that owned it before me has lost. And then it comes my my direction, and I'm the only one who's winning. I pretty much got this truck at its scrap value low. And, you know, people like me who can fix things and all that kind of stuff, you know, hey, listen, I really do enjoy it. I like taking old crap like this and making it worth something. So, I mean, what's this truck worth now? 2,500 bucks, something like that? I mean, no, it's not a huge gain, but it's still something. Pretty much every mile I drive this truck, it costs me nothing but the fuel in the tank. I mean, really, I'm probably eventually going to get tired of it, sell it, or trade it off for something, or something along the lines of that. And yet I'm still winning. Look, I'm not saying you're stupid if you go buy a new truck, and I'm not saying I'm better than somebody that would go buy a new truck. I'm just saying think about it before you do it. Oh, trust me, I'd love to have a new truck. I mean, it would just be great until the first month was there, and it was like $1,200 payment I had to make for like the next 7 years. Now, all kidding aside, I really do kind of take care of my stuff, and I am actually trying to make this a fairly decent truck for me to drive every day. So don't think I'm going out there just absolutely thrashing it and tearing it up. Let's get back to this truck in particular. I have put an abundance of new parts on this truck. It has, like I said earlier, new plugs and wires. It has a few new injectors. I put new brakes and brake calipers on this truck because they were sticking really bad as well when I first got it. I want to say I probably have less than maybe $1,200 in it total, with probably another few days of my time invested in this truck. I respect this truck a little more because I actually have some sweat equity in it, and it kind of gives you a sense of pride. I personally remember when these trucks first came out. They came out around the time when I was in high school, and they were a really big step up from the what they call now the OBS truck, because they were just so much more modern looking. But a lot of people hated them right out of the gate because they were just kind of a typical 90s Ford styling of Ford discovered an oval. I personally don't think they're that bad of looking truck. They're just not sought after, like I said earlier, because they're just kind of in that slump where they're not necessarily a classic, and 90% of them you still see on the road are, you know, kind of like this truck. Just not in the best of shape, not worth very much, and it usually doesn't have a very good demographic of people driving them. I was always more of a Chevy guy, but I really think that the test of time kind of held these trucks up a little bit. Their transmission problems aren't horrible, their bodies held up great. The engine's so-so. I think the worst thing about the engine is it really could use a little bit more power, which was always a known thing with Ford. When they first came out with that mod motor, the Mustangs were just turds. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video here. I just wanted to kind of recap everybody on this old Ford truck because everybody was kind of asking me about it. And it turned out really good. And I'll probably keep it for just a little while, and who knows, you might see something else in a future video of maybe something I traded it for or sold and used the money to buy something. But either way, I appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe.